Your customer support team handles 600,000 conversations without hiring a single new person. Your coding assistant doesn't just suggest the next line, it rewrites entire systems overnight, runs the tests, fixes the bugs, and commits the results while you sleep. Your warehouse reorganizes itself when demand shifts. This isn't science fiction, this is 2026, and it's already happening. But here's what nobody is telling you. Most of what's being marketed as an AI agent right now is fake. It's a chatbot with a new label. And the gap between what gets called an agent and what actually is one is enormous. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how real AI agents work, what fundamentally changed in the last 12 months to make them actually useful, where they're genuinely delivering results, and where the hype is still miles ahead of reality. Let's get into it and explore the future of agency. Let's start with the most important question. What is an AI agent? Really? Here's the cleanest definition I've found. An AI agent is a system that takes a goal, breaks it into steps, calls tools to execute those steps, holds context across all of them, and decides on its own when to act, when to ask for help, and when to stop. That last part is key. The decision is the product. Compare that to what most people have been using. A chatbot responds to your input. Every turn is isolated. A copilot suggests an action and waits for you to approve it. A workflow tool runs a fixed sequence you set up in advance. An agent does none of those things. It decides what to do next based on what just happened, and it keeps going. Here's a simple example. Let's see how an agent handles a sales task. You ask a chatbot, write me a summary of last quarter's sales. It reads what you give it and writes a summary. Done. You give an agent the same task. The agent goes and gets the data first. It pulls your CRM, cross-references your invoices, notices an anomaly in the Southeast region, investigates it, and comes back with a summary plus a flag on something you didn't even know to ask about. Same input, wildly different output. That is the difference. So, what does a real agent actually need under the hood? There are 4 layers, and if a vendor can't walk you through all 4, what they have is marketing, not an agent. Layer 1, planning. The agent needs to decompose a goal into steps, not just respond to a prompt. Actually figure out how to accomplish something that might take 20 actions to complete. Layer 2, memory. This is where most fake agents fall apart. Real agents need short-term memory, what happened in this conversation, and long-term memory, what they've learned about your preferences, your systems, your past decisions. Without persistent memory, every session starts from scratch. That's not an agent, that's a goldfish. Layer 3, tool use. Agents need to interact with the world. Call an API, search the web, read a file, write to a database, send an email. Without tools, an agent can only think. It can't act, and acting is the whole point. Layer 4, judgment. This is the hardest one, and the one that matters most in production. When should the agent proceed? When should it pause and ask you? When should it stop entirely because something unexpected happened? Bad judgment here is what causes agents to go off the rails, and it's why most enterprise deployments still require a human in the loop. Get all 4 layers right, and you have a real agent. Miss any one of them, and you have a very expensive autocomplete. So if agents have been theoretically possible for a couple of years, what changed in 2025 and 2026 that made them actually work? 3 things changed in 2025 and 2026. First, MCP, the Model Context Protocol. Before MCP, every AI agent that needed to talk to external tools required custom integration work. You wanted your agent to query your database and your CRM and your Slack. 3 separate integrations, 3 places to break, 3 teams to maintain them. MCP changed everything. It's a standardized protocol that lets any agent call any tool through a common interface. By the end of 2025, there were over 10,000 public MCP servers deployed. Think of it like USB for AI. Before USB, every device needed its own port. After USB, anything plugs in anywhere. That's what MCP did for agents. Second, memory architecture got real. Models now support context windows of 1 million tokens or more. What that means practically is that an agent can hold an entire code base, an entire legal document, an entire year of your emails in working memory while it operates. Third, multi-agent systems. This is the biggest shift. Instead of one agent trying to do everything, you now have systems where specialized agents collaborate. A planner agent breaks down the task. Executor agents handle specific subtasks. A critic agent checks the work. A router agent decides who gets what. The analogy is a company versus a single freelancer. One very good freelancer has limits. A coordinated team, with the right people on the right tasks, scales in a way no individual can. This is what's behind the real enterprise deployments producing serious results right now. Let's talk real numbers, because this is where it gets interesting. Customer support is the most mature category. Fortune 50 brands running autonomous support agents are seeing Tier 1 resolution become fully automated. Year-over-year headcount reductions in Tier 1 support, 50 to 85%. Cost per contact reductions, 20 to 40%. These aren't pilot numbers, these are production numbers. Software development is the fastest moving category. At TELUS, one of Canada's largest telecoms, teams using Claude Code shipped engineering work 30% faster, while saving over 500,000 hours, averaging 40 minutes saved per AI interaction. And here's a data point I find personally fascinating. Andrei Karpathy, one of the most respected engineers in this field, OpenAI co-founder, was skeptical of agents as recently as 2025. He called early implementations, quote, agentic slop. Then he used Claude Code. He changed his mind, publicly. When someone like that changes their mind, that matters. Finance is seeing 77% ROI on agent deployments for risk and fraud workflows. Sales is being transformed at the pre-sales intelligence layer. Agents that research prospects, draft outreach, monitor for trigger events like funding announcements. The rep's job shifts from research to relationship, which is what great salespeople want to be doing anyway. Across the board, companies using agentic workflows are reporting 1.7 times average ROI. That's not a marginal improvement, that's a structural advantage. Now, I promised I'd tell you where the hype outpaces reality. Here it is. Scaling is still the problem. Studies from Accenture and Wipro suggest 70 to 80% of agentic initiatives have not scaled enterprise-wide. The gap between "we ran a successful pilot" and "this runs reliably in production at scale" is still very large. Judgment in edge cases is still weak. In well-defined, repeatable workflows, agents are excellent. In open-ended, novel situations with high stakes, they still fail in ways that are hard to predict. This is why human-in-the-loop checkpoints aren't going away anytime soon. Trust and accountability are unsolved. When an agent makes a financial decision, who is responsible? When it sends an email on your behalf that damages a relationship, who owns that? The governance frameworks are lagging well behind the capabilities. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Gartner estimates that 40% of today's agents won't survive to 2027. Not because the technology is bad, but because the market is still figuring out which implementations create durable value versus which ones are just impressive demos. So here's where we are. AI agents in 2026 are real, they're working, and they're producing results that would have seemed impossible 18 months ago. The infrastructure, MCP, memory, multi-agent coordination, cheap, fast inference, finally caught up with the theory. But they're not magic. The gap between a genuine agent and a relabeled chatbot is enormous. Most of what you see marketed as agentic isn't, and even real agents fail when you push them beyond structured workflows. My take? The organizations sitting in pilot mode through the rest of 2026 aren't being cautious, they're ceding ground. The early deployments have produced the playbooks. The infrastructure is ready. The question now is execution. If you want to go deeper, I'm doing a follow-up video where I actually build a simple multi-agent workflow from scratch, live. Subscribe so you don't miss it. And drop a comment below. Are you already using agents at work? Or still watching from the sidelines? I genuinely want to know where people are at. See you in the next one.